Hello, everyone. Welcome to SRK Chat number 7. Sam just joined us in the nick of time there. Are you even unmuted? Are you there?
I'm here. Hello.
Hello. Good. Right. Excellent. Cool. Diego, Dom, Sam, Luke, the SSC Racing Events organisers. Thanks for joining us. Well done, Sam, on your BIKC thing yesterday. Well done. You're through to the national finals. Well done, Dom, on Club 100. I assume you did well there. Good luck, Luke, in your iRace later on. And I guess I watched all the Highlander films, so there's something that'll do. No achievements for me. But we had the Herefordshire round of SRK Championship and NRK Championship last weekend. So really good event. completely sold out. It was our highest ever attendance. I think everyone enjoyed it. It was tricky conditions. Dom, it was your first event with us. How did it go for you?
Yeah, I think it went well. It was really well run, well organised. Racing could have been better for me, but it was really well organised. I thought it was good. Everyone seemed to have a good time, so it's the main thing.
Nice. What about you, Luke? How did it go for you?
Yeah, it didn't go too badly. I made it into the A final, which was the main thing. First two heats were lacking a bit of pace, and then the third heat went really well, and I set the fastest lap at that point. Yeah, wasn't too bad.
Very nice. We should say Luke's having some camera issues for some reason, so and he's doing his iRace, so it's going to go well.
Apologies.
Going to go great for you.
Yeah, it does not bode well.
No, it doesn't. And Sam, I don't know how you did. How did you do?
I don't know, mate. I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest. It was good. I mean, for me, Herefordshire has always been around where something goes wrong, and I finally managed to keep it clean and come away with a win. And the battle with Jacob Lewis, start to finish, was intense, really intense, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good race for everyone, I think. Cool. So next round of Wilton Mill in just under 6 weeks' time, completely sold out. We can't expand the event. We've asked them. So if you didn't get in, tough luck. Make sure you book for the next one. That's what happens now. Everything sells out. So I think Three Sisters or Bayford, I think, is the one after that, and then Three Sisters. So if you're planning on coming along, they're both open for bookings. Just book in if you want to come. Right. So I've got the driver of the day set up again. So there we go. There's the link for that. Sam, post it in the chat. Vote for your favourite driver of the day. That'll be open till the end, and we'll take a look at that on the stream later on. That's for your favourite driver of the day. I mean, you've got one vote per person this time, so not going to have any funny ass persons with like 100 votes at the top. Like you start calling you out, but you can vote for multiple drivers on the form if you want. Right, cool. I think we'll just. I was going to share some podiums, but let's do that now. I'm going to try a little bit of different stuff on my end this time. So I know it's been a bit choppy in the past, but we'll see how it all goes. We've got all sorts of nonsense lined up on my side. So there's your overall podiums. There we go. That was the pro podium. So well done again, Sam. Jacob Lewis in second, Bradley in third, and the AM podium. There we go. Zach Titterton taking, I think it's his first win. Ian in second. Joel took a good third as well. And the open podium, there we go. That was Morgan for his first victory. And Jack in second. That was obviously his best result. He's been with us this season. James looks absolutely thrilled to be there in third place. But that was his second third in two events, actually. So it's going pretty well for him in the championship if he's joining us. There's your full results as well. I won't dwell on this too long because you can see it on Facebook page and your emails. But we might as well look at the points. Neil leading the pro class now on 96 from Sam and Bradley. BSR top three. That's going well. Luke in fourth. And as always, you can see this all on the page, on the Facebook page. Top of AM. Again, these two running away with it. Zach and Ian, a winner piece. Best 6 of 8 though, so plenty of time left in the year for all of this. And Morgan, the early leader in open, only 4 points over James, and a few drivers not too far back there. And the teams as well, bring that up as well. BSR obviously leading the way. Right, yeah, cool. So we already know all of that anyway. So what we'll do is we'll jump on to some of the videos we've got planned for this evening. As I say, hopefully I've got a better way of doing this. So I'm going to try and play at full speed on my end, and then we'll go back and do some slow-mo. And I don't really have that many clips to share, I'm afraid. So some of them are just going to be looking through. There's not really some discussion on some of them. It's just having a little watch of some stuff. So let's just jump straight into the first one here. As I say, not too much discussion on this one. It's just a nice onboard from Amy, just showing how ridiculous the conditions were. So, yeah, Dom, how did you fare in these conditions?
Not good, to be honest. I struggled. Haven't karted for many years, so to come back in these conditions is a bit tricky, but it's getting better throughout the day, which is what mattered. Just hope Wilton's a bit drier.
No, I don't. I love the wet. That was great.
Yeah, you do. You were quick.
I was quick.
You were.
Yeah. Sam, how did you do this? Obviously, you enjoyed it, but did you enjoy the wet or the dry?
To be honest, I've never been a fan of the wet, and this was the first time where I sort of rocked up, and I think I found a couple of tents that no one else managed to find. So I'd say it's the sort of best result in the wet for me, and maybe even strongest track in the wet. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and Luke, I think you did all right, didn't you? How did you do? Enjoy the wet?
I love driving in the wet. I struggled a bit in the first 2 heats in the wet, but yeah, I normally absolutely love driving in the wet. But Hereford was a little bit different. Didn't have to really take wet lines too much. Karts actually felt like they had quite a lot of grip in the wet in comparison to a lot of the karts I've driven on slicks.
Yeah, it was weird, wasn't it? Like, because we did Coombe in the wet last year, or in the snow, and it was just completely different. Like when you ended up taking just the normal racing line in some of those corners, didn't you? And then there was basically just that first corner that was different from what I could tell, anyway.
I think Herefordshire for me was just a dry line, just complete dry line. It was just you had to be very, very careful when you came back on the power, and I found tapping the brakes every now and then was just controlling it, pointing it, shooting it, and it just worked.
It did, yeah. Okay, all right. Well, let's jump into our first discussion clip. So, as I say, bear with me as I'm doing a little bit of directing here. Here we go. Oh, I think we know this one, actually. We jumped straight to the action already. I got 2 clips on this. So, yeah, play it in full speed first, because we need a bit more backstory before that. So, the start of heat number 7, this was. Sam, why don't you talk us through the lead up to what happened there while I'm setting up the slow-mo?
So I want to say I started last for this one. It was very, very near to the back. And I had a very, very clean open lap. I think I made two or three overtakes on the first couple of corners. Worked my way up to sort of second. And the gap between me and Amy was quite large. And I was sure that I'd run out of time. On the final lap, I think I was about 2 meters behind her. And going down the straight right here, she had no idea that I was within lunging distance, and I just full on came in here and parked it right in front. It was, I think, probably the best move of the day. In my opinion, it was such a stunning move. And I was checking over my shoulder, thinking, "Oh God, she's just going to come straight back at me. She's not going to be happy." And I had about 4 corners left to defend, and that was it. Took the checkered flag. She was not happy, and I wouldn't be either in her shoes.
Yeah, not to toot your own horn too much, but I think you're right there. It was a very good move. It was. Oh, we've got the outside view of this as well. So I think was it Lawrence that was filming this outside?
Yes. Yeah.
So I'll bring that up on my end as well. Oh, actually, I've got this on the other side. So let's do that now. Let's put this on the big screen. There we go. Look at that stupid lunge. You're leant all the way forward. Honestly.
Looks so much slower from that angle, doesn't it?
It does.
But you can see, from the grid that I was quite far back.
Yeah, you were. I'll bring you back actually on this. So I mean, you can see that's how far back you were.
Yeah, and I knew it was going to be my last opportunity, and I didn't think I was close enough. And I was fully prepared to back out of this, and then
there you are.
I just couldn't believe I managed to get my nose in.
There's some audible gasps from the audience there as well. No one was expecting it. Yeah,
I wasn't.
No, I don't think anyone was.
Amy certainly wasn't.
Yeah, so I think it was all. Everyone hopefully enjoyed that. Right. Okay. Cool. So let's have our first actual discussion, shall we? Right. So. This is from the D final. This is our on board with Mark O'Grady. He's racing against an open driver. Let's have a watch. Dom's laughing because he had it happen here.
I just heard Dom laugh, and that made me laugh as well.
That was, wasn't it? All right, let me bring that up in slow-mo as well.
It's so hard not to make those moves in the wet, but this is drying a little bit here.
Yeah, this was almost dry, I think.
Yeah, it was a difficult, obviously changing conditions. I'll bring you back to the start. So Dom, why don't you talk us through what happened here? In fact, I'll move on a little bit so we get to the corner, shall we?
Yeah, well, I mean, he got a better exit out of the first turn, which obviously gives him that initial initial boost, and then, I mean, it is a bit of a tough one. I don't think he took him out on purpose. He was going for the move. The gap was there, and then it closed. I think it's as simple as that. There was nowhere for him to go. He was doing the overtaking, but I don't think there was anywhere for him to go. So,
yeah, I think you're right. I wanted to put it on because it's kind of a good example of when it's like a tentative move. So, Sam, how would you make this move? How would you make this one stick? Or Luke, if you want to jump in, whoever.
I'll let Luke go first.
Yeah, it was kind of like a half committed move. He thought about it but didn't fully commit to it, and then it wasn't in the end really anywhere near getting the move done. So to get that move done from that point, you need to make sure you brake as late as possible, and at the point of turning, you're fully alongside. And he was nowhere near that.
Yeah, I mean, if you had that run up, could you make that stick? Is the question.
Could you pause it there, Martin?
Right here.
Yeah. Luke, did you have anything else to add? Did you want to add anything else? I think Martin asked you a question there.
Did I? Shut up, Sam.
All right, we'll carry on.
Dinner.
I think if you pulls it about now,
yeah,
this I wouldn't be considering a lunge right here unless he was just a few inches closer, because at this point you can see that he's not gaining a bit there. She's actually pulled almost an inch. She can't see him at all, and I think maybe if he'd sort of gone fully over to the right, she may have clocked him and given him room. I got to say credit to both drivers, though. She didn't complain. She didn't wave her hands in the air. Mm-hmm. She just got her head down and carried on. And he put his hand in the air and apologized immediately. And he pulled completely to the right to make sure that he didn't T-bone her and take her out. So I think that was just an unfortunate... He really wanted to try it, and it didn't work. So I wouldn't have given a penalty or anything like that. He had the run on her here, and then all of a sudden... what should have been a brilliant move just kind of closed. And right now, I would have backed. I would have tucked in a little bit. Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit of difference with the because she was an open driver and he wasn't. So that initial momentum he had off the corner would have been lost a little bit.
Was exactly what I was about to say, and I think that's why going around the corner here. 100%, if they'd have been the same weight, he would have been able to hold that all the way through and then make the switch to the inside and take it. So right now he's closing in, and then the weight comes into play. She starts to pull a few inches, which is what allows the move to not work. So yeah, unfortunate, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was good to see people going for these moves, and like you say, good to see people not throwing their hands up and complaining. And just going for it. Unless you're Neil, I suppose, then you just complain about everything. So, and on to the next clip, because Neil's on the next clip.
Stop bullying Neil.
All right. Oh, sorry. Okay. Right. Next clip is me and Neil. All right, there we go. And I'll get it up in slow-mo in a sec as well. So I'll play it back again while that's happening. Yep, Sam, you can take this one as well.
Just want to watch it again.
Right. That's a good point, Dog. I agree.
I have to agree with the dog.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
It's all right.
Very, very good point.
Jeez.
So I think your mic, honestly.
Yeah, I think going in, going into the overtake was great. Switch to the inside. You left the door wide open, unfortunately. I think the only issue I would have mentioned was that it looked like maybe there wasn't enough room on the exit for you, but I don't know what actually did you hit the wall? Did you?
Yes, yeah. This was actually why I wanted to bring it up, because another person would have said there should have been a bit more room left on the outside of that.
Yeah, so
a little bit.
The little knock, I would say, was all right. It was okay. I mean, I don't encourage it because it unsettles you a little bit, but it's a high speed overtake. Those side by side brushing through it's going to happen now and then. But on the exit to the turn, he closed you off, and if it resulted in you hitting the wall, it probably would have been a bit of a rough one. So like right here, he should be holding a little bit to the right, which he was, but not as much as he could have.
Yeah, it was just cheeky, really, wasn't it?
I think he was worried that you were just going to come straight back on that corner, which, let's be honest, you would have. Yeah, exactly. And what he's doing there is he's hoping that you're not. He's almost trying to get a better run by taking more track. Was there any other angles on this one?
There was, but my camera wasn't working, I'm afraid. So no. Yeah, it would be interesting to see. In fact, if I can bring it back to right at the point of impact there, it's interesting to see where. And that's the corner. That's the edge of the corner, right? So I'm still like 50% alongside there, but
yeah, and he is full lock here.
That's true. He is full lock. Yeah.
However,
that wasn't.
He undoes it. Yeah, right, straight after. And I think I would have held the full lock, allowed you to maybe even come on the inside of me going into the next turn, and almost just sort of got you on the outside again. So I would have gone side by side for 2-3 corners, because I think he would have held on. Sometimes you've got to give people room to come back at you to be able to get it on the following corner.
Yeah, I think I agree. What do you think, Dom?
Yeah, no, I think it was initially a good move. The only thing that I could have done different was not open up the steering as quickly, like Sam said. Keep it more over to the right and just let it naturally flow. But it was in the final. He was going for the place.
I wouldn't penalise it, and I wouldn't also say it was a good move. It was harsh. It was harsh.
Yeah, Luke, what do you think?
Yeah, I would say that harsh is the word to describe it, really. I mean, the initial move is great. I mean, to be fair to you, he should have left half a cart width more on the exit. But then in that situation, you don't want you coming back up the inside into the next corner.
So interestingly, I'm not sure if you've just noticed as well, Chris Powell, the race director of the day, has just commented saying that Neil could have left a bit more room on the exit, in my opinion, which I'd say is a fair assessment. That's what I was agreeing with, and he could have done so by pulling it more to the right. So,
yeah. So I think we pretty much agree that was robust but fair. I don't know if everyone says that. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it happened, I think, like I said, if it was like 1% more, I would have been like, "What the hell? That didn't take me out." But you got to just go for those moves, You literally, you didn't see the video of the lap before it where I passed, which I'm going to go into in a sec. So you obviously wanted to make that move. You've got to go for it if the gap's there, right? So yeah, fair enough. Good. All right. Cool. A tough one, yeah. Well, we don't have, like I said, that many discussion ones now. But I think what's next? Oh, it's me and you, Sam. So and again, I did have a little bit of camera, but it's a little bit low. So please just bear with on this one. Watch this. From Heat 4, this was.
Oh no, you're behind me. That's not good.
Why'd you say that?
Because it means I'm the one that's getting hit.
You won't expect it either.
Don't tell me you switched it. Oh, mate. I'll tell you what, though. Bloody good effort.
Yeah, I gave it back there, though. But yeah, no, it was... could I have made that stick, is the question, Luke.
It was very opportunistic.
Yes,
yeah. I thought it was very good because Sam definitely was not expecting that.
No.
I don't think I'd have given that back.
Really? Is that interesting?
I'm torn because I would say was this in the heat or was this practice?
Yeah, this was the heat. This was Heat 4.
This was the heat. I just want to watch this contact here.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oliver Bayani is in the chat, and he says he wouldn't give it back, and Ollie's a fair driver.
Do you know what? I wouldn't have either. I wouldn't have either, and that's against me. So, but the gap closed, but you were about 75% of the way in, and you couldn't back out. I think you did the right thing because Chris, ironically, again, the race director in the chat said no.
Whether that no to something.
Well, it sounds like you asked the question of, would you have given that back? Would that have been a penalty? And he said, I would have given a penalty for that if you had let him back by. Hadn't been let back by. So there we go. But interesting watching this one, actually, because from what Neil's saying, he's got a point. The gap closed, but it was almost as if I could have given you more room.
It's quite reasonable for you to not expect me to be there. So why would you leave a gap or alter your line in any way?
With the swing that I've taken all the way to the left, it's more than usual, and then I've snapped it, and then I've gone, oh shit, he's there. But I've not, like, from this camera angle, I've not even given you enough room, I don't think. Looking at this again, I would have held that a little bit more to the right, allowed you to come in, and my momentum would have just carried me around the outside anyway. So looking back on that, me personally, I would have given you more room.
Cool.
Because the move wouldn't worked. But yeah, I can't believe
let's give you some points for that. Let's disqualify you for the event, Sam. So sorry.
It's because of the swing. If you watching it again, then you can see that I've gone so far left, so far right, and so far left again, and I couldn't, especially in the wet, couldn't really do it.
Yeah, you agree with that, Dom?
Yeah, nothing to add. Apart from that dummy just needs applauding. It was great.
Yeah.
Honestly, mate, that is absolutely crack. You can see me doing it, and you're like, oh, no, let's take advantage of that. You go straight in.
I think from an outsider's point of view, it would have looked like you just lunged him and T-boned him from an outside point of view. But looking at that, I think you were far enough alongside to have kept that place, personally.
Seb's just said, I thought it was practice before the heat. I definitely lunged on Sam in practice because I always do that. And I definitely raced you in practice. But I have a feeling this was the race. That's why I was a bit more lenient with it.
Well, yeah.
Oh, this gives a good opportunity to play the next video, which is, of course, Smash Sam. Any excuse. From...
This just sums up previous years for me, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That was my own fault, to be fair. I should have hit that wall.
This was 2019.
Oh my good God.
That was, I can't remember if that was a race or practice, though.
I really hope Chris isn't watching anymore.
Oh, sorry, Chris.
Look at this. Look at this. What is this nonsense?
Oh, gotta love it. All right, okay, anyway, that was... Yeah, sorry, Chris. That's probably why your carts are broken.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Smash Sam. Hashtag Smash Sam. Wait, hang on. I got an idea.
What's your idea?
There we go. Let's get it going. Hashtag Smash Sam.
It's better not become a trend.
Yeah, Driver of the Day vote's still open, everyone. So we'll get on that shortly. Oh, let's see if anyone's voted, shall I? I know someone said they couldn't log in. Oh, we got 11 votes so far. We'll get onto that in a bit. Rightio, cool. Again, I got another video from my head cam. Unfortunately, it's a little bit low, but I just wanted to show the absolute carnage in, I think it was Heat 1. So try and see as much of this as you can if I can get the right video. Is it this one? Let's see. Yeah, okay, so Heat 8 this was. Unfortunately, my camera's a little bit low, but just have a watch of this carnage. Count the spins as well on the first lap. That's one.
Oh, you lost loads there.
I did, yeah. There's two.
Well, three.
Yeah, three. If you count me, yeah. Already gone from lost 3 positions. Back with the AM drivers, the open drivers. There's 4, 5, 6. Just drivers everywhere. It's not over
I
yet
can only see
either.
one. Then.
There you go. It's another one. 7.
Oh,
It's just mayhem, that one race, just because nobody could drive in the wet. And then I'll make a nice little move on Sebastian, and that was fair. Yeah. Yeah, as I say, we haven't had really that many discussion clips in this one because of no one sent them in. So send in your discussion clips, everyone. Right, okay. That'll do it for the Hereford videos. We got a little bit more with Driver of the Day later on, but I think what we'll do now is look ahead to the next round of the championship at Wilton Mill, and Luke and Fido are going to narrate us on a lap in a sec. But here's our track preview. Big circuit, should be really good. Nice long circuit. Luke's the SRK top performer, the winningest driver, because we've only had one race so far. But there we go. But I assume that means that Luke will be the one to watch. If I bring up the lap, I'm going to try and there we go. Is that working? Luke, let's see if you can narrate this, and Dog, see if you can help.
I'll give it a go.
Ready? Let's go.
See how my internet holds up with this. Okay, so you want to be trying to ride the curbs, providing they let you as much as possible through the bit. Wow, that went really quick. To come out of the first corner. Okay, my internet's not very good for this.
Do you want to swap over to Dom for this then?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Dom, do you want to pick up? You good with this?
Yeah, no problem. Do you want to go back to the start or?
Yeah, just jump in now if you want. We're about halfway through the lap.
Yeah, so this is a quick flick in, short dab of the brake, and then this it's quite a difficult braking point because it's downhill and a bit off camber, so you got to pick your braking pretty well there, flat out through the next bit, and then as late as possible into the boot, hit the curb, and then flat out until Christmas. This is just sometimes a little bit of a lift depending on the track conditions. Run it as wide as the track let you.
I wouldn't go that wide.
Flat out again through 1 and 2. Let it run as wide as the track will let you again, and then up the bank. You want to be braking. In these cars, probably just after the marshal post, and then keep it smooth through there, flat out through the next 2. And then, in my opinion, down to the trickiest braking point. You've got to brake a lot earlier than you think on this one. Back end likes to step out, and again, let it run wide. And there we are.
Nice. And you raced? Did you say you raced Club 100 here last weekend? Is that right?
It was last weekend. Yeah. Again, it was mixed conditions last weekend. I struggled again in the wet. I had the pace in the dry, got the fastest lap in the final, but struggled in the wet, so that put me on the back foot a little bit.
Nice, cool. And I know Amy Breacher did Club 100 as well, so well done on racing in that. I think you got a class victory.
Yeah, Amy won the C final, which promoted her through to the B, and then I think she moved up quite a lot of places in that, maybe 10 or more places.
Nice. Well done to Amy. Cool. Right. So yeah, we're all looking forward to Wilton Mill. It's we're going to be big fields at that because we've only had 6 in the field at Coombe and up to about 12 at Herefordshire, but we're going to have 20 karts on track at Wilton Mill. It's going to be massive.
Yeah, James Taylor makes a good point now in the last corner of Wilton Mill. There's a curb on the inside, which is more like a block of flat than a curb. If you touch it, that's it. Game over. So you want to be missing that as close as possible, but yeah, you don't want to be touching it at all.
Well, one thing we experienced, I think, last year with our debut to the season was Wilton Mill, wasn't it, last year? And they were very harsh, I think, for the curbs. So, we all want to use the curbs a little bit. But if the briefing says to completely avoid them, I would advise that you try your best to avoid them where you can, because they were heavily giving out penalties last year.
I mean, coming out of the first corner through that left right, they usually let you run out onto that concrete because there's no damage done. And then coming down the hill, they let you run there. It's just the last corner what they're not keen about. But sometimes it does hold a lot of water in that curb, so it's not always a bonus to run it on there. So
Oh, fingers
That's the
crossed it's
main
not
one.
raining in July anyway.
Yeah. So it'll be a slightly smaller format than usual. Practice 2 heats, then a final. We'll hammer out the specifics when we have a little bit more contact with them soon. But yeah, it should be a good event anyway. It's even if we have any issues, it's still a really good circuit, one of the best ones we go to. Right, I know you're a little bit tight on time, Luke, so we'll try and make it a little bit quick here. But Sam, do you want to just talk quickly about the merchandise situation?
Yep. So now that Mansell Raceway have finally taken our money, finally allowed us to book in, the merchandise was all confirmed and in production, so should be there, ready for round 3. So those of you that have ordered merchandise should get it for Wilton Mill.
Yeah, cool. And we've also got some caps and mugs coming out. Those are going to be nice. So thanks to Ian at Broken Logo for helping us out with those. So we're going to have, I think it's going to be £12 for a cap and £10 for a mug. And I think we pretty much already got them. We'll do some sort of bundle deal as well. But yeah, just a little bit of merch there. Rightio, cool. Last chance to vote for your driver of the day. I think we'll bring that up now as we go through our own personal choices. So should we start with Luke then? You're at the bottom right. Who's your driver of the day for Herefordshire?
My driver of the day is Josh Waring. He hasn't been in the kart for two years, and he did extremely well to come out with 5th and fastest lap. And I'm hoping that he'll be coming along to some more rounds later this year.
Is he doing Wilton?
I'm not 100% confirmed, but I hope so.
All right, Sam, what about you?
So I did vote for Jacob Lewis. I felt that he managed to take the lead off of me in the final. He lost pole position due to a penalty in the heats. So I think he shined. He showed his usual talent at that track, and unfortunately, I wanted to win a bit more than he did. But yeah, he drove a stunning drive all day.
And what about you, Dom?
I did vote for Sam, purely for the heat when he started dead last, and he came through to win and put that move on Amy. That made his day and ultimately got him the win. So
that's completely rigged. BSR, honestly. All right. Yeah. So I had a couple of people. I had Josh Waring did really well, raced his way through. I had Zach Titterton, who did really well, took his first win in AM. I had me, because I did really well. I got fastest lap in all my races, and then I messed up in the final. But I voted for Morgan Durant. I think he did really well. Got his first win in Open, and he smashed it. He was way up the top of the points.
It's funny you say all that, to be honest, because I think there were 4 or 5 drivers of the day that race, yourself included. Morgan for his performance all day. He almost put it on pole overall, I think. So had he been in the actual A final, yeah, he would have been close enough to put it on the front row. So it was interesting. And Josh Waring as well, yeah, like Luke said, because he started far back for the A final or won the B and came
third in the A final, and then come through to 5th in the A.
Yeah.
Very nice. Right, let's look at the votes then, shall we? There we go. So I'll go through these. We've got Morgan got 3 votes. Shenanigans for Dom Cliff on 3 points. I think you're paying off your fans there, Dom. So you're disqualified. So Morgan got driver of the day there. So well done to Morgan. We've got 2 votes there for Sam. Looks like 1 vote for Zach Titterton, 1 for Josh Waring, 1 for Luke Cooper. Who voted for Luke? Was that your dog? That's what he was doing. There he is. That's the point. And 1 for, who was the other person there? That was Jacob Lewis. Well done there. Right, last couple of things. We've got the most illustrious award of the event, which is the potato move of the day. So I got a video of this one as well. So let's bring this up here. This is from the A final. On board with Neil Durant and chasing Bradley Shepherd in the A final. Teammates. And it's not going to me. It's going to Bradley Shepherd for blocking his teammate and pushing him onto the grass. and losing a position. Well done, Bradley. Cool. So potato move of the day. This potato.
In his defence, yeah, he
Gotta
pulled
do what you gotta do.
not so great one, didn't he? And I would have done the same thing in his shoes. So
Yeah.
I don't discredit what he did in any way. It's unfortunate, and it's an individuals championship at the end of the day, isn't it? And everyone's fighting for it. So it's a shame for Neil. But this is one of those things. If you're backed up into a train and you're trying to attack like Neil was attacking there, you're gonna lose out. And if I'd say Neil maybe shouldn't have been so switcheroo right behind him and just stuck behind and realised what was going on, waited for a cleaner opportunity. Because I would have been so worried about what's going on behind me when someone's defending that heavily in front.
Yeah, just so much looking behind. It's like a bobbly doll. He's just going for it. All right, fantastic. Yeah, cool. Last, just little thanks to the sponsors as usual. Thanks to Broken Logo who have sponsored us for this round. Lots of information about them on Facebook. And thanks as usual to our usual sponsors, ADS Painting and Decorating, Sheppey Windows, Swift Cooper, and plenty of space left for the rest of the season if anyone wants to get on board. Rightio, cool. I think that's all from us. Anyone need to add anything before we go?
Nope, all good. Enjoyed it. See you all at Wilton. Thanks for selling out our events. It's going well. That's all from me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
just an apology from my dog.
You need to introduce him at least. Bring him in.
yeah, come on, cats from Sam and
today. Where they are.
Dom. Just move to the side and show us your display behind you. This is while we were waiting for you, Sam. Dom died.
Like a dead person.
Dom died. All right, cool. And we'll end it there. We'll see everyone at Wilton Mill. Goodbye.